Here we are this morning at the Lagoon Park Trail. We're starting on the north end, going around the Lagoon Loop next to East Boulevard. And we'll see how far we get and where all we're going. There's the lodge over here where we're parked, and here's Lagoon Park. On we go. Here's the creek that is part of the outflow of the lagoon. Just behind me is the spillway from the lagoon itself. This is kind of not very cityfied to be in the middle of a town. We're just exiting the woods here and getting ready to go back on the flat ground at the lagoon. Rhonda's in front of me, and there's two other ladies hiking in front of her. So this is a fairly popular spot, it would appear. So we're moving out of the cool shade over into the sunlight. I'm walking through a bunch of hay where they've cut the grass. Approaching the lagoon. Here we're leaving the sunshine and getting ready to go into the woods again. But here right in front of us, there's a good little stand of cattails. And the fluff is starting to come out on them. So there will be some good tinder. And here's the view of the lagoon from this area. The area we just left. And here's where we're headed. Sorry for the traffic noise. We're right next to Main Street. Here we've got from the inside of the woods the view of the lagoon again. There's an egret over there on a stump. Beyond that is Lagoon Park Golf Course. A really nice course, recognized in the area as being good quality, good variety of difficulty for different players. And now we go back into the woods. And in here we've got pines and hardwoods of various kinds. And we're hiking over everything from a leaf bed to small gravel. I better get busy. Rhonda's running off and leaving me here. We're getting ready to do the loop to head back on this section of the Lagoon Park Trail. Well, we did the 1.7 mile loop, and we're back here at the lodge. We're going to take a restroom break real quick before we continue on. A few people out running around today, that's for sure. The heat index is close to 100, so we're not setting any speed records, that's for sure. But we'll pick it up as we continue on with the trail. We're here getting ready to start the cross-country trail of the different trails at Lagoon Park. Here's where we're going to be going. Around the loop. And then back up the Creek Country Trail. Pretty nice trail park so far, so I would recommend giving it a shot. So we'll catch you down the way as we head out. At first, there were some little inclines and hills. Felt pretty good going up and down. It flattened out really flat. There's a little rise right back there. We got plenty of curves. And we've got a slight incline coming up here. Maybe a meadow up here or something. This looks like we're coming into a cleared area. Trail is fairly well marked. There's been some branches that intersected with the trail that you couldn't tell really easily which was what till you considered the map. There's the road down there that divides this trail from the cross country creek trail, which we'll come back up on to the car. There's just about every kind of tree you can think of in here except for pines. I don't see any of those right now. Here's Rhonda's chair again. I shouldn't say again, another of Rhonda's chairs. And we're coming to a little bit of a hill here, which will be a nice change from the flat terrain. Not much of a hill, just a little. And there are roots all over the place. Looks like that might be an elm putting those out. Here's some hackberry. More hackberry. These roots are just kind of a nice little obstacle course. So we're coming back down and turning away from the road again. And we approach another hill. Good. Map online showed some elevation changes, and I was beginning to wonder back there if it was accurate. But here we go. This is a decent little climb. Not very steep, really. I mean, kinda, but not much. But enough to get your heart rate up. Then we come back to some more level ground on top of the rise. There's the Gunner Industrial Park. And some of its trailers over there. There's the old road that dissects the trails. And there's a blaze for where we're going. And now we're going down the little hill. Here in the south we call this poke salad. It's poke weed. People take those leaves, especially the young small ones, boil them really good for 3 different times to get all the toxins out, and eat them like turnip greens. Some people use the berries for medicinal purposes. Don't see that every day, but it's here, along with the mimosa, and it's just prolific throughout this part of the world. Vegetation of all kinds. Pretty cool. Well, Rhonda's running off and leaving me, so I better get busy. Here's the creek that feeds the lagoon down there. I'm standing on a bridge over the top of it now. And up through the woods, the trail goes this way, and there's parking on the south end of the trail. This once again is the creek that feeds the lagoon in the park. This is below the bridge that crosses over it. We're now entering the creek trail, following the creek over here to the right, because on the opposite side of the old road from the cross-country creek trail that we took going south, we're headed back north. We'll see how this looks. It's supposed to be flatter than the other trail. The other one had some pretty good little hills in it. Not so long, just steep, but it gave you some exercise. If this one is fairly flat, then you should be able to make a little better time, a little easier on the knees. I'm afraid a lot of it might be in the sun, though. That may be a problem. The heat index is getting up. So we'll see how things go and check back in later. This is why they call this the creek trail. It's running right alongside the creek that feeds the lagoon. On the other side of the creek, over past the trees a ways, is the golf course, which perhaps you can see right there. Not a bad view. Trail is pretty flat. It's semi-shade most of the way. It's full sun others, but you can pick your way through most of it. Well, here we've got a little dip. Looks like we've got a bridge out, and there's ruts and mud from the bikers. We can make it across this little spot right here, and then head on back up. This is probably, so far at least, the only change in elevation to speak of on this trail, or I should say this loop of this trail, because the other side had some, but this one has very little. It's just mostly creek. Flat, sandy soil. We've kind of moved into more of a woodland setting here now. The path has turned from sandy to just dark soil. It's soft, somewhat muddy in places. A little bit of sand in spots. You can see where the bikers have come through here, left some trails. There's the creek again. There's Rhonda behind me. She's a little warm, a little tired. This humidity's getting to her really bad. And it's not helping me much either. But at least we're shady, which makes the humidity even worse, I guess. But we should be coming to the parking lot pretty soon. Well, we're back at the car. It appears the total distance we've done is about 4.5 miles over all the loops added together. We're here at the lodge. The last loop that we did, according to this, was 2.7 miles in a little over an hour, which is not too bad a time. That's interesting. Signs all over the place say no fishing, and I guess it doesn't apply to everybody. Quite a few people out here enjoying the park. So I think we'll cool off, get some water, and go home.